Terror's Mission 2047. Convert India into an Islamic state. Prime Minister Narendra Modi was a terror target. Three, including a former police officer, arrested. Radical Islamist organization, Popular Front of India, under the scanner. But how wide are the terror tentacles? That's our top focus on India First. Just how deep is the rot in our country? Radical Islamists, according to Bihar police, want to convert India into an Islamic state in the next 25 years. Their plan is to subjugate Hindus, to once again rule India by 2047. And this radicalization, according to the Bihar police, is taking place in mosques and madrasas in parts of Bihar. But the question is it restricted just to some pockets in Bihar, or are these terror tentacles far more widespread? Are we brushing this under the carpet? In a short while from now, I will be joined by J.S. Gangwar, Additional Director General of the Bihar Police. 3 people have been taken into custody so far, 25 named in the first information report. Sir, welcome on India First. I'm Gaurav Sawant. As always, let's get started with the headlines on India First. Controversy erupts over handbook for words used by Lok Sabha. Jumla Jeevi, corrupt, dictatorial termed unparliamentary. Opposition guns for the Narendra Modi government. Lok Sabha Speaker clarifies, says words are not banned. Amidst the death, destruction and the deluge after non-stop rains, some miraculous rescues. A 3-month-old baby saved in Telangana. Locals also save a biker from being swept away. Singer Daler Mehendi arrested after Patiala court upholds his conviction in a 2003 illegal immigration racket. Gotabaya Rajpaksha resigns as president of Sri Lanka. He was spotted shopping for shirts at Singapore's Changi airport. His next destination is reported to be Jeddah in Saudi Arabia. Amidst a chorus to drop Virat Kohli, the BCCI has not included the former India captain in India's T20 squad for West Indies. BCCI sources tell India Today he sought rest. A retired sub-inspector of the Jharkhand police is among 3 arrested after a raid at Phulwari Sharif in Bihar. Muhammad Jalaluddin, Athar Parvez and Arman Malik have been taken into custody. Even as we speak, raids are being carried out to nab others who were reportedly running a radicalization camp under the garb of physical fitness centers. Police say certain documents and pamphlets, some of that you're watching on your television screen, they are being looked at and scrutinized. A Bihar police officer compared the PFI training to RSS Shaka and stirred a hornet's nest. Rohit Singh with our top story.
Chilling Kill Modi plot. A terror module out to target the Prime Minister's July 12 Patna rally. When the Prime Minister was on a brief visit to Bihar. Links to radical Islamist groups like Simi and PFI have emerged. A larger conspiracy unearthed to establish an Islamic India by 2047. Patna police has busted a terror cell and arrested 2 accused. One of them is Mohammad Jalaluddin, a retired sub-inspector of Jharkhand police. The other one is Athar Parvez, brother of a 2013 Patna bomb blast accused, who had then targeted Modi's campaign rally.
मोहम्मद जलालुद्दीन ने बताया है कि वो अतहर परवेज, जिनका हिस्ट्री बहुत ही दागदार रहा है, वो सिमी के एक्टिव मेंबर रहे हैं। पिछले 2 सालों से पीएफआई और एसडीपीआई के आड़ में कॉवर्ट ऑपरेशन कर रहे थे, लोगों को रेडिकलाइज कर रहे थे।
But it was not just Modi who was on target. As per cops, the terrorists were part of a larger plot to change India into an Islamic state, with a 2047 deadline. The objective was to establish Islamic rule in the country and restore the status snatched away by the British when they conquered India and dethroned the Muslim rulers.
उनके विजन में ही टर्की का उल्लेख है कि जो इस्लाम के बियरर्स हैं, फ्लैग बियरर्स हैं, अगर स्टैंड ऑफ की स्थिति आती है स्टेट के साथ तो उसकी मदद लेंगे। तो
2047 तक भारत को इस्लामिक मुल्क बनाने की इनकी मंशा है उस डॉक्यूमेंट के हिसाब से।
मैं ये नहीं कह सकता हूं, बट डॉक्यूमेंट्स जो रिकवर्ड हुआ है उसमें तो यही लिखा है।
This is the PFI flag in large numbers. It has been seized. Apart from that, several incriminating documents here relating to SDPI. You see here, these are documents, incriminating documents relating to SDPI, how SDPI used to help. This is the membership form of SDPI, how you can enroll yourself, become a member of this party, of this organization, rather, Social Democratic Party of India. And all this clearly goes on to show that the suspected terrorists were planning something really big. And Prime Minister's Patna visit was on the radar.
The conspirators plan to enlist support of India's 10% Muslim population and Islamic countries like Turkey to achieve their sinister objective.
इनके जो भी ऑफिस बियरर्स हैं और जो भी इनके मेंबर्स थे, क्योंकि उनकी हम लोगों को सूचना प्राप्त हुई है, हम लोगों को डॉक्यूमेंट्स मिले हैं कि कमेटी में कौन कौन था, और उनमें से बहुत से लोग नामजद भी हुए हैं, और उनके हम लोग बैंक अकाउंट्स और जितने भी उनके फाइनेंशियल ट्रांजैक्शंस हुई हैं कम से कम पिछले 1 साल में, उसकी हम लोग जांच करवाएंगे।
The man leading the probe has landed in a soup after drawing parallels between the RSS with the PFI training camps. The SSP has been served a notice to explain this comment within 48 hours.
जैसे शाखा होती है, आरएसएस अपनी शाखा ऑर्गेनाइज करते हैं और लाठी की ट्रेनिंग देते हैं, उसी तरह से ये लोग शारीरिक प्रशिक्षण, फिजिकल एजुकेशन के नाम से लोग अपने यूथ्स को बुला के और उनको प्रशिक्षण दे रहे थे, और उसी के साथ ही जो अपना एजेंडा है और प्रोपेगेंडा है उनके माध्यम से यूथ्स को ब्रेन वॉश करने का काम कर रहे थे।
As per cops, the accused also did a dress rehearsal, training for 15 days to practice the attack on Modi's rally. The accused say they were merely running an NGO. The cops, however, have unearthed terror funding to the tune of 83 lakh rupees and ample proof that youth from Kerala, Bengal, UP, Tamil Nadu and many other states were coming to get terror training with the accused.
More searches, more raids are being carried out. The police, the Patna police is also contacting several other state police from where what we have learned that several youths from in those states were also coming to this training center in Patna. So massive terror module has been busted by the Patna police, and investigations have in this case have just begun, and more arrests are likely to take place in next few days. With camera person Nadeem Alam, this is Rohit Singh in Patna for India Today.
So this Popular Front of India is a radical Islamist organization. Their mission 2047, it seems, is to convert India, turn India into an Islamic state. Youth are being radicalized in some mosques and madrasas in Bihar, according to the police. But the question is, how deep and how wide is the rot? Is it restricted just to Phulwari Sharif in Bihar, or is this far more widespread? Before I bring in our guests, joining me on the show is J.S. Gangwar, Additional Director General of the Bihar Police. Sir, what more can you tell us about the arrests, the recovery of material and the latest in your investigations?
The Patna police in the town area of Phulwari Sharif police station has busted a network of people who had come there, and there was evidence that they used to come there and have training and assemble there for mass mobilization and other related activities. Many documents have been recovered from that premises, and they include posters, banners, and the documents related to PFI, their flag, and 2 persons have been arrested from the that premises, and this has been done on 12th of July. Again on today we have arrested 1 more person, so total now 3 persons have been arrested.
Okay. So one of those taken into custody, apparently his name is Muhammad Jalaluddin. Is he a former police officer? What was his role and what was the role of those who you've arrested so far?
The Atahar Parvez is the his brother was earlier involved in some cases. They have criminal history also, and Jalaluddin is the retired officer. We are yet to verify his antecedents from the Jharkhand police and as well as from this area. We are still on the further verification trail of the persons arrested, of the documents to be verified, and the other mobile phone which we have recovered. The social media network and their contacts we are verifying. We'll also verify their bank accounts and other relevant details. So it is the very early investigation, and rightfully we have done the named FIR against 26 of them. 3 persons have been arrested. Serious charges have been pressed. FIR has been registered. It is being monitored at the senior level.
And sir, what do documents reveal? The documents that have been taken into custody and are being scrutinized, is there any corroborative evidence at this stage that the plot was to burn India or to convert India into an Islamic state by 2047 or target Prime Minister Narendra Modi when he recently visited Bihar?
All the documents are yet to be examined. I cannot comment on the ongoing investigation at this stage because primarily I am not aware of it, and secondly there is no corroboration of what you are claiming it to be getting input from. So unless we get the corroborated input and unless we get the complete picture, it will be difficult. However, we are trying hard to put all the chains of the evidence together, all the person's statement, cross verifications, social media analytics and mobile networks. So we'll come to know of their planning, designs, the actors who were there into that network, the kind of places from where the people used to come and all that. It's a very early investigation right now.
Sir, that's very interesting. You're talking about the bank accounts and you're talking about the network and social media analytics. Now, sir, from their mobile phones or from their conversations or WhatsApp or other platforms, who are they in touch with in different parts of the country? What can you tell us, one, about the wider ramifications of such a plot to convert India into an Islamic state, and the other suspects in this case?
As far as my knowledge at this moment goes, they were hardly here for a couple of months, hardly for 1.5 months or 2 months. So they rented a flat in which nobody could suspect of it, and just 2-3 people used to stay normally. Sometimes some more people used to come and stay there, so it was a normal crowded area. But however, because of the police input, action, verification, only we have come to know, and we have busted this network before any violent design or any violent action could have taken place. We have already busted this. This is a proactive work of the police, and we are investigating now to understand what was their further motive.
Okay. There are 25 people apparently who've been named in the FIR. For joining me here on the show, many thanks, sir. I now want to shift focus to a wider debate on the mindset, on this mindset to convert India into an Islamic state. Anand Madhav joins me on the broadcast. Also with me is RP Singh. RP Singh represents the BJP. Anand Madhav represents the Congress. Also with me on the broadcast is Dr. Vikram Singh, former Director General of the Uttar Pradesh police, one of the best minds on counter-terrorism operations, counter-radicalization operations. But Anand Madhav, youth being enticed to mosques and madrasas under the garb of physical training and then being radicalized. Sir, it sounds very dangerous. What do you make of it?
Yeah, I would just like to say that the organizations like PFI and PFI, it should be immediately banned, and Congress is sorting about this. Congress is telling about this since long back. 3 press conferences by the Surjewala ji and Siddaramaiah ji has been held in Bangalore itself, asking for the ban on the organization like PFI. All these kind of organizations must be banned immediately.
Okay.
And
You're saying these organizations should be banned? RP Singh, why are these organizations not being banned? Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister,
Home Ministry.
Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister, Yogi Adityanath, when there was violence, riots and arson in Uttar Pradesh, he shot a ban. When anti-CA riots were going on, you blamed the BJP, or the government at that point of time blamed PFI as one of those who was funding it. Why is this organization not banned, sir?
Gaurav, on the ban issue, let us first understand the gravity of the situation, how deep we are in trouble. That's the more important thing. Let the Congress spokesperson start with the Rajasthan government, and let my government start with the UP government to start with the government ban. Jharkhand has already banned the PFI, so state governments can also take initiative in banning the organization. So just point it, but I have the paper with me, which talks about India 2047 toward rule of Islam in India. It's shocking, and it's hit your spine. I mean, I'm shocked to read the plan as such and how they intend to go about it. I not only through their means of radicalization, but also capturing the power through seeping into the power center of the country, through judiciary, through executive, through media, every section. And they have a big plan, and then they have been funded, financed. They say there's no issue of fund and finance. There are friendly Islamic countries who will fund us for this. And then the way they are trying to build it up, I mean, to build up the grievance among Muslims that they are not being taken care by the country, or they are not being treated equally in the country, and then in cash on their grievance. So my concern is that
you are the government in power. You are the government in power.
Another 5 seconds, then you can say what you say. My concern is that I'm not saying all Muslims in the country are with PFI, or every person who believes in Islam is with PFI. There are certain elements within the community, and then appreciate the other certain elements in the community. They should stand up, identify such elements, and try to segregate them.
So that's a fair point you raise. That's a fair point you raise, that Muslims must come forward, identify such elements. But sir, had you been in the opposition, had you been raising these issues, I would have understood that, sir. You are the government in power. Why isn't it happening? It should have happened not as of yesterday, but as of 2 years ago, sir. How many more terror attacks will we see before such an organization is banned, before action is taken against individuals? Sir, I will come back to you to respond to this aspect. But Dr. Vikram Singh, what do you make of these arrests and the investigations so far?
Gaurav ji, good evening. This, of course, is a very disturbing development, and that too happening in the backdrop of the visit of the Honorable Prime Minister to Patna on the 12th, arrests happening on the 11th. And what could be a bigger disaster than you have sleeper cells totally committed to creating anarchy in the area. One person, an ex-Simi Ansar, current member of PFI and the SDA, and the other person, ex-police officer from Jharkhand, and people coming from 4 states that would include Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and others for training, and ostensibly in NGO. NGO does not have to get contributions to the tune of 83 lakhs from doubtful and questionable sources. NGO does not want an Islamic India in 2047. NGO does not have military training, and that, of course, we allowed the grass to grow underneath our feet. It's a matter of satisfaction that it has been unearthed in good time. But yes, I have three things to recommend to Sardar R.P. Singh ji. Any mosque, any madrasa, any place of worship, temple or anything that promotes this kind of a violence, well, the mutawalli or the pujari, there will be consequences and that should be sealed immediately. All incendiary material and all such material where there is militant training is totally unacceptable unless prior permission has been taken under the provisions of 144 CRPC. Third, any such incendiary material, the 7-page document that has unearthed, which Mr. Gaurav Sawant was showing, it is absolutely delirious. It is though delirious, but it is a very alarming kind of a call and a very disastrous roadmap. A wake-up call for all of us, Gaurav ji, and the nation needs to wake up.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Another point of concern, the Congress, I will salute the Congress spokesperson that he is more vociferous, outspoken and certain than Sardar R.P. Singh Sahab. Please, please, it is a wake-up call. The Prime Minister was visiting the 12th and there couldn't have been a bigger disaster than this.
And you recall last time when the Prime Minister was there was a bomb attack that took place and the Prime Minister...
Maidan, Patna.
Absolutely. So there is clear and present danger and he continued to stand there when that terror attack was taking place so that people would not run away in panic. But Anand Madhav, one thing is very clear. One thing is very clear. You agree with Dr. Vikram Singh. Any mosque or madrasa that preaches hate, that preaches terror, that mosque or madrasa has to be sealed and the Maulvi arrested. There can't be politics on such a serious national security issue, sir.
There is a correction. Any institution, whether it's a religious institution or any institution which is spreading hatred,
absolutely,
must be banned immediately. Must be banned immediately because we need to stop this hate and spread love. And second thing which is very important, that under the umbrella of this pseudo-nationalism and the hollow nationalism, you are making mockery of the democracy, which we also need to understand. We need to find out the root cause and root it out from the very base.
What is the root cause, sir? What is the root cause?
See, spreading hatred everywhere it is happening.
So you cause and effect. R.P. Singh, respond. Cause and effect is what the Congress party spokesperson says.
Well, Sydney has been working since quite long, even before the BJP came to power. So, do I take this to the root cause of the Congress? The problem with the Congress is that they are always trying to find out, try to safeguard the interests of the, such people. PFI has spread like anything, like fire and
you have the nexus with the terrorists like Riyaz Attari, with the Talib Hussain Shah, with the Tariq Ahmad Mir, with DSP. You know the relationship between the Tariq Ahmad Mir and DSP Devendra Singh. You have the relationship with the Dhruv Saxena. You have the relationship with the Balram Singh, who is the terror funder.
Sir, सबको जेल में डालो ना sir. जो भी कर रहा है जेल में डालो. You know, let's rise above Congress and BJP on such an issue.
Not only
but Mr. Vikram Singh, do you agree with the Congress party when the Congress party talks about cause and effect? I am sorry. If you have any grievance, go to a court of law. Go to a court of law. There is no cause and effect. We have to get out of that mindset.
Absolutely. Gaurav ji, may I submit that it is now time has come to be extremely proactive, zero tolerance towards such anti-national elements, their sponsors and their supporters. And of course, there will be consequences. An unambiguous message should go down to every nook and corner of the country, every village, every mohalla, that properties movable and immovable will be attached and your careers and your business ambitions will be finished and brought to the dust.
But Mr. Vikram Singh, you know, I want to rise above politics. I had hoped and prayed that there would be no politics on such a serious national security issue. Sir, there cannot be a cause and effect. If you have a grievance, go to a court of law. Has to be said again and again and again. Nothing justifies the beheading that took place in Udaipur or to convert India into an Islamic state by 2047. But I want to understand from you, Dr. Vikram Singh, join the dots, level of radicalization, the arrest of those accused of Sar Tan Se Juda in Udaipur, the activities of PFI. What is the bigger picture that emerges in our country?
The bigger picture is that there are foreign elements who are aiding and abetting the radicalized youth of this country, and some special interest groups are fishing in troubled waters, and those people have to be identified. That is where the problem lies. And you very rightly mentioned, India is supreme. India comes first always and every time, and therefore in national interest all such elements will have to be decimated without mercy. If any has any complaint, please go to court.
I would also like to add that
legally.
India is very strong also.
Well, India
And
has
this
to remain
country-
strong
Yes.
without this narrative of cause and effect that leads to terror. Sir, anybody, and you know, every political party, my prayer is, sir, reach out to people and tell them you have a grievance, go to a court of law. You cannot believe in sar tan se juda or convert India into Islamic State.
Of course.
Unacceptable.
Gaurav,
Unacceptable. There's breaking news coming in.
After this
There is
Bangalore
breaking news coming
incident.
in. I'm getting a latest information coming in from Bihar. We are now told 5 suspects have now been taken into custody. 3 more suspects have been taken into custody, taking the total number of those arrested to 5. Of course, do keep in mind, 25 have been named in this FIR. Radicals who wanted to convert India into an Islamic state by 2047. And these elements come not just from Bihar, they come from Jharkhand, they come from Tamil Nadu, they come from Kerala, they come from multiple states in our country, and this remains a matter of investigation. This Muhammad Jalaluddin came from Jharkhand. He was a part of Jharkhand police. Athar Parvez was a part of Simi's module. We are being told, we are also being told that 3 others have now been taken into custody. Those are images that you see on your television screen. 25 named, 3, now 5 arrested in this case. To all my guests, many thanks for joining me. We will continue to track this story very, very closely. There is no way that India can forcibly be converted into an Islamic state by 2047. There is rule of law in this country, and rule of law must and always prevail with every Indian keeping India first. That is all I have for you on the show.